Hey YouTube, this is Colin once again. So this is an unusual video because I'm not actually rebuttaling anybody else's video. I'm not making a comment on Robert Spencer's book, which I know some people are really interested in that, and I'm sure some people are getting rather tired of it, but I'm almost finished with that. So hopefully I'll be done with that. But the purpose of this video is I was watching Pat Condell, I believe, or Condell, the atheist from England, and while I do believe in God, and he obviously doesn't, I agree with his videos. I mean, he brings up some really interesting points, and he's very blunt, and I think sometimes people just need to be blunt with others to get things, you know, cut through all the crap, basically. So I give him credit for that, and most of the time, for the most part, his main points are, I have to agree with it, as far as, politics and things of that nature. So with that said, he made a recent video called another video about Islam, and so I watched that. It's his newest video, and then I looked at the comments, and I saw one comment by Starcatcher777. Now before I continue, Starcatcher, this is not an attack against you. I posted an actual comment saying that I thought there were some issues with some of the evidence you brought forward, but I was actually intrigued by your comment on the video, because you say that there are sources that Islam is against blacks, is how you put it, or to be more politically correct, African Americans, because you did say westernized blacks, or I guess European Africans, etc. And I was actually intrigued because you cite some interesting sources. One source that I kind of instantly knew that was off was Surah 9, verse 61, where you said that you quoted something like they are like donkeys or something like that. Surah 9, verse 61 doesn't say anything about Africans. It doesn't say anything like that at all. And then you quoted the life of Muhammad, or better known as Ibn Ishaq, the biography of Ibn Ishaq. And I find a lot of people, including Robert Spencer, really misusing this biography. And I'm going to show you why. Starcatcher, you quoted from page 243, and you said that basically Muhammad doesn't like blacks. But see, you only quoted almost half a sentence. If you actually read what it says, it has a long chain of transmitters, and then it says, I have heard that it was of him that the apostle said, whoever wants to see Satan, let him take a look at Nabtal B. al-Harith. He was a sturdy black man with long flowing hair, inflamed eyes, and dark ruddy cheeks. He used to come and talk to the apostle and listen to him, and then carry what he had said to the hypocrites. It was he who said, quote, Muhammad is all ears. If anyone tells him anything, he believes it. God sent down concerning him, quote, and of them are those who annoy the prophet and say he is all ears. Say, good ears for you. He believes in God and trusts the believers, and is a mercy for those of you who believe, and those who annoy the apostle of God, for them there is a painful punishment, end quote. So, if you take just the sentence, if you want to see Satan, look at this man who happens to be black, then of course you're going to think, okay, Muhammad is racist. But if you actually read in the context, which is a statement that I think people need to learn what that means, or else we're in a lot of trouble here. This man was not condemned because of his skin color. The biographer Ibn Ishaq is giving us a description so we can visualize who this person is, because if you just said so-and-so, then we're going to sit here and go, well, okay, who is that? What did he look like? Things of that nature. But instead, Ibn Ishaq tells us what he looks like. He happens to be an African. But the important thing is not because of his skin color, it's because he is betraying the Muslims to the hypocrites, as I just read. This has nothing to do with racism. This is about politics, actually, ironically enough. Then it continues, a man of Bial Ajin told me that he was told that Gabriel came to the apostle and said, quote, there comes to sit with you a black man with long flowing hair, ruddy cheeks, and inflamed eyes like two copper pots. His heart is more gross than a donkey's. So here's Starcatcher's thing. He carries your words to the hypocrites. See, Starcatcher, why didn't you finish? Why didn't you finish the sentence? Why didn't you mention this? To the hypocrites. So beware of him. This is, so they say, was the description of Nabtal. So that is all. Nabtal is mentioned right there. But it's all about politics, not about his skin color. He could have been Arab. He could have been of any race, frankly, but instead, his color has nothing to do with it. This is a description. If Gabriel were to come to Muhammad and say, so, this man, because he doesn't give Naphtul's name, he says, this guy is betraying you. And Muhammad would look at Gabriel and go, okay, well, who is it? What does he look like? And Naptul said, okay, well, this is what he looks like. And Muhammad said, oh, yes, okay. And then, obviously, in the previous paragraph, confronted him about it. Said, if you want to see Satan, look at Naptul. So, this is the point I'm trying to make here, is that people are misusing sources. And so, again, people have asked me independently, Colin, how come you jump at the throat of anyone who misquotes? Because it's one of my pet peeves. It's something that really ticks me off. It has nothing to do with Islam at all. I mean, I've jumped at people who have misquoted, the New Testament. Like, people love to rub in the Christians' faces the Gospel of Luke, where Jesus says, if anyone doesn't want me to be king, bring him hither and slay me. Well, okay, Jesus obviously, that's not Jesus actually saying those words. That's him telling a story. And I jump at that really quick and say, well, wait a minute, hold on now. You can't say Jesus said that. He didn't actually say that. So, this just happened to be that I saw this comment. And it's one of the things that bug me the most, especially because I know I have the sources at home, and I own them, and so therefore, it bugs me when and I was actually intrigued. I thought, wow, maybe, again, I take everything really neutral. I saw this and I went, well, maybe Muhammad did have a racist streak, who knows? But then I read the book, and saw this was totally taken out of context. And then you quoted a hadith where you said the blacks, I'm quoting you now, blacks should be not enter paradise and should be left to for death if they're injured. And you quoted a hadith. It was volume 4, book 54, hadith number 137 of Al-Bukhari. And I own all 9 volumes of Al-Bukhari, and I couldn't find, when I got to hadith number 137, that had nothing to do with Africans. So I don't know where you're getting your sources, but if you could please possibly make a comment and tell me which hadith you're actually using, I'd very much appreciate that. Again, Starcatcher777, I might come off as threatening, I might come off as stern, but I really didn't mean this as an attack against you. I'm here on YouTube to share knowledge and to talk with people in a kind, respectful manner, and I in no ways mean to insult you or to come off as attacking. I merely saw your comment, saw some issues with it, and thought I would let you know that you didn't quote everything in the situation. And on the flip side, from my understanding of Muhammad's life, one of the earliest converts to Islam was an African slave who was set free, from my understanding. And he was also, I believe, the first person to do the call to prayer. Also, in Muhammad's farewell message, he says that all races are equal. To paraphrase everything he said that that a white is not better than a black, a red man's not better than an Arab, they're not above each other, except in goodness and piety. So essentially, Muhammad was abolishing racism, and you see that because for the most part, except for some Muslim leaders throughout history, from my understanding, Islam is one of the religions that prides itself on that it's basically ingrained in their doctrine that racism has been abolished. And all religions don't have racism, which is why I'm amazed that so many people who are involved in religion can create things like the European slave trade and things of that nature. It's a shameful act, considering that all religious leaders, all founders of major religions, did not preach racism. So it's very appalling to see their followers, their future generations, committing these acts. But excuse me, for the most part, we just have to really look at these sources. And see, I did this video because I know that when people are just watching videos on YouTube and seeing comments of this nature, they're not going to go actually look at the sources. So I thought I'd come forward and basically share this information with you. Again, Starcatcher777, I'm not here to attack you, I'm just here to clarify, and if you could clarify for me which hadith you're using, I'd greatly appreciate it. Peace be with you, and peace be with everybody this wonderful day. Thank you. Peace.